Got anything to say? Either of you?
Things I probably should have said before we started stream, so I'm not going to say anything. Smells like
Minecraft got
What?
rid of fireflies because frogs can't eat them in real life, but they decided to have frogs eat something way more toxic.
Doug Dimmadome.
owner of the Dimstill Dimmadome at your service.
I like that you changed your skin to it as well. How long have you had that ready? I'm curious.
3 days.
Wow. I should probably crack open Twitch to actually make sure that stream doesn't die.
Is that Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Thank you for locating my long lost son Dale Dimmadome, heir to the Dimmadome fortune.
So, also, I don't even know what you two were complaining about. We still have 32 iron blocks.
Yes, we used to have 40 though.
32 iron blocks. What's 9 times 32? That's like 300.
Maddie, it's the principle you don't understand. Battery.
The battery.
The battery. Why did we all come outside?
I don't know. I'm completely and utterly armorless currently.
The small sheep farm.
Maddie's been taking all that iron and hasn't even made armor. What the heck?
Yeah, you wanna know why?
She's made armor. She's lost more armor, though.
I am going to make myself more iron armor. Primarily because I actually kind of plan on going and getting more iron.
What did I do with my armor?
Oh wait, we ended last stream just fishing.
Something like that. It was a while ago.
Also, the diamond and netherite armor on the armor stand is mine. I just don't want to use it yet because not all of it's enchanted.
No, don't, stop, no!
You good, Spoods?
He's having a good time. Having a good time.
A zombie has forsaken
Is it steel taters?
my beautiful crops.
Sad.
It stomped on my potatoes.
So, I'm not running back immediately into the nether.
Smart.
Unfortunately.
How much armor collectively have you lost in the nether?
Too much.
Enough.
So not only did Maddie use a third of our iron, it all went to waste.
Well, yeah, I thought we already knew this.
I know, it's just fun giving you a hassle for it.
You also got mad at me for, using iron pickaxes to mine netherrack.
Yeah, you could use flippin' stone. It's not that much slower.
Oh, wait, two bamboo only makes 1 stick.
Correct.
It's faster to mine netherrack with a stick than it is to mine stone with a wooden pickaxe.
Hmm.
But Spoots, it's the principle that counts. The principle that gotta go fast.
I mean, you have a netherite pickaxe now, why don't you use that?
Because it's not enchanted yet.
Yeah, fair point.
Oh, that's what happened to my armor. I lost it in the nether, too. Oops.
I miss the digital miner already.
Have you been playing modded?
Huh?
Have you been playing modded, Spoods?
No, not recently.
Hey, Spoods. Do you... Oh, wait, you have an entire chest full of potatoes, don't you?
No? You don't know anything.
You showed it to me at the end of last stream. It's like over in the corner. Yeah, there it is.
The tower.
The Duracell.
What is the tower going to turn into? Is that still a secret?
Still a secret.
Okay.
What
I
tower?
did finally decide what it's going to turn into eventually, but we don't have the resources to do it yet.
What tower are you talking about?
The tower.
I'm a little salty at the fact that even though I built the battery on top of a tower or on top of a hill, your tower is still taller than it is.
We have a lot of lapis.
Oh, that tower.
The beacon tower.
If only you could make a beacon out of something like that.
Netherite beacon. When?
Hey, so, guess who's going back to the nether for a bit? To be fair,
Thought you-
though,
I thought you just swore off the nether.
to be fair, I'm only coming here for lava.
Fair enough.
50-50 chance she dies.
Which 50 is the one where she dies?
The one where I
think-
forgot to put gold armor on. It's so weird to remember because I always forget. Yes, that is a
second
sentence.
50.
Second 50, got it.
Specifically the second, because if it's the first 50 and whatnot, then the paradox doesn't come into play.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Probabilities are bullshit, and you and I both know this, Jimbles.
Math.
Okay. I don't think I've ever actually gone off on this rant on stream before, but like I legitimately do not like probabilities because there's something about them in my brain that like while I know that the way that I think about it is wrong, it just doesn't click in my brain where like essentially the way that you know probability works is that it's your total amount of options. It's like, what is it? The total amount of your options divided by or over the amount of times that you're checking or some shit like that.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds right enough.
But it's really weird in my brain because like the order in which you do things can change your probability of something happening.
Correct.
Which like I 100% blame Professor Layton for this, by the way. There's a stupid probability puzzle in the first Professor Layton game that broke my brain as a child. That's like you know, your odds of rolling 1-6 is 1 in 6 on a d6. Your odds of rolling 2 6s are 1 in 36. And it goes on and lists a couple more. And then it's like, okay, so you've rolled 3 6s in a row. What are your odds of rolling another 6? And yes, technically speaking, the odds are a 1 in 6 odds. It just doesn't sit well in my brain that it is a 1 in 6 odds instead of the adjusted odds for it being, you know,
No,
in a
sure.
row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got set up to think a different way.
Yeah, but like it's dumb in my brain that like, you know, yeah, technically it's a 1 in 6, but at the same time you're actively excluding information from this, which is the fact that, you know, it you had to have rolled the multiple in a row, so I don't
I'm
know.
personally of the opinion that the only probability that matters is that there's a greater than 0% chance for anything.
Oh no, not this topic again.
This is a conversation we have had many a time.
Spent
and it
so many hours discussing this.
and it always ends in the same way of one of us being sick of it and asking the other people to move on. So
Forbidden topic for the sole reason that we could go on forever about it.
I did the smart thing and got us some lava buckets to stick in the furnace.
Still waiting for my tornado assembled junkyard Ferrari.
I'm glad you were thinking the same one I was. Now let's move on before it starts.
Do either of you want to come mining with me?
Already in the cave.
Did you follow the directions I gave you like 4 hours ago?
No, because I went for a different goal. I'm gonna mine out all the iron before you can get to it.
But which branch of the cave are you going to? Because there's there's actually like 12 unexplored branches, but there's 2 main branches.
No idea, I just went with the one that had a bunch of unmined diamonds.
Yeah, but like which direction did you go from the big branch?
Dennis.
That's a game I should stream at some point. A Hat in Time.
A
You
hat
know,
and
Manny,
Dennis.
Huh?
I can't help but notice that not 15 minutes ago you said we were at 32 iron blocks, and now we're at 26.
To be fair,
Uh,
that wasn't entirely me.
It's true. I took a few.
It's fun to hassle you, I'm sorry.
And on top of that, I did explicitly say, hey, I'm grabbing some iron.
I need a dispenser here.
Man, I wish I had that shader pack that gives you I forgot to grab torches because I'm stupid.
Been there more times than I wish I could say. Need a dispenser here.
Okay, so you came on the right path, Jimbles.
Where are you?
Approaching. Don't worry if you hear the footsteps. It's just Herobrine.
I will close this game faster than ever recorded before.
Faster than that video that I sent you.
Yes.
That man noped out of there so quick.
He made one fatal mistake in his speedrun strat. He didn't just Alt F4.
You have to commend him for his menu speed, though.
Oh, absolutely. Menu speed, unrivaled. I could still close the game quicker.
There's another mine shaft over here.
Yeah, probably. This cave is unending and contains the entirety of the universe. We could find ourselves in here somewhere.
Jimbles, you want to know what this cave reminds me of?
South Dakota.
The Underdark dimension.
Yeah.
Here's
So
the question, though, Jimble. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, how many versions of ourselves, though?
Enough, but not all of them.
Cool. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask what you thought of the April Fool's update.
Well, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Are you
I didn't-
equally as mad that they added the Aether portal and then didn't do anything with it?
Yeah,
Good.
they knew what they were doing.
Oh, they knew exactly what they were doing.
The thing is I knew what they were doing, but they knew what they were doing, and it still made me mad.
But I know that he knows that we know that we know that they know.
And they still didn't care.
Spoods,
Come
I was
on,
I
the
was
Aether
telling
Portal
Jimbles
creator works there now.
I was telling Jimbles earlier that you know, Minecraft Legends looks cool and all that, but you do realize that it's going to introduce mobs that Mojang is not going to want to add to base Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be just as painful as it is with the dungeons mobs.
Why
Justice for
haven't they
Redstone
added?
Golem.
Why haven't they added my Witherstorm from Minecraft Story Mode yet?
Unironically, actually would be very cool.
There's a what's it called? A data pack for that.
Like an official one.
No.
Nah.
Just somebody who was just as frustrated as we are that decided to do something about it.
The
'Cause they
saddest
are
thing,
more in the ways of the command block.
Spoods, do you think that you're knowledgeable enough about code to make a Minecraft mod?
I'm gonna tell you one thing, and then I'm going to let you guess based off of that one thing whether or not either of us could do it.
It's you write it in JavaScript, right?
No,
Really?
it's pure Java.
Hmm.
It has JavaScript in it and whatnot, but my knowledge of JavaScript is not enough to do anything about whatever Minecraft requires, and the fact that somebody coded an entire game out of it, mind-boggling, because it was never meant for that.
The PlayStation can produce mind-boggling effects.
I love that image. Especially the one with John Lennon.
Minecraft shouldn't exist, theoretically.
In a perfect world, Minecraft wouldn't exist.
There is no conceivable way that Minecraft would exist normally, but somebody was bored enough to mess around with a programming
I mean,
language that was never designed for game development and made a game with it.
you say that, but technically speaking, wasn't Flash Player in the same situation? Wasn't Flash Player
Yeah,
initially made for video?
Flash had all of the tools available to do multiple different things with it and whatnot. Java had no documentation for how you would make a game with it.
If going to crash, don't.
Wow, that was really weird.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if there's actually a difference between JavaScript and pure Java. I just know that from what I've heard somebody say they were different to an extent.
Hmm.
I found another dungeon. This one's a spider spawner.
Infinite
Oh, yeah, cool.
string.
They're different. I was right.
I just realized I forgot a crucial piece of gear. Other than
The
torches.
massive limestone cube.
Is there a limestone block in Minecraft?
Nope. Well, I found a gapple and an two gapples and an enchanted gapple.
Hmm. Nice.
That's why Bedrock Edition is coded in C++.
Someone did a Modicium research before deciding to write a game.
It's just like, do you think that they were gonna learn how to manipulate Java the way they wanted to make it run on things like a PlayStation or a phone?
Raspberry Pi Mini.
They took the easy way out.
I mean, technically speaking, the Raspberry Pi version of Minecraft doesn't actually run Java Edition.
It's
The
also not Bedrock Edition either.
Yeah, it runs a Legacy Mobile Edition.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it's its own custom
own
version.
special one. Yeah,
Yeah,
Not
but it's
based off of anything.
well, no, it's based off of one. It's like 1.4 Pocket Edition. Hey, I found a golden apple. Unfortunately, no torches in that chest though.
I don't think I've ever found torches in a chest, other than like this bonus chest at the start.
No, sometimes minecart chests can have them in them.
Huh.
You just usually
Guess I'm
don't
just
look at them because
unlucky.
usually you're smart enough to actually bring torches with you.
And I'm ignorant enough to not look.
The Raspberry Pi Edition is an enigma all in of itself. Because not only was there somebody that decided they were going to make a game in Java, there was also somebody that decided that they were going to make Minecraft for an ARM-based processor in Linux.
I mean, to be fair, Minecraft Java does actually run on Linux.
I know.
Oh, to the incredible power of a bored human.
It's the fact that it was being compiled for a processor, an ARM-based processor, that I think I want to say that the Raspberry Pi 2 is the oldest supported Raspberry Pi for that version of Minecraft.
The other really cool thing about the Raspberry Pi version of Minecraft is that it has a console that you can type code in Python in.
I think it's a 1 gigahertz dual core ARM-based processor. If I'm getting that info.
It's a miracle that it runs at all.
It had to be built from the ground up for the Raspberry Pi, which is why it's as incomplete as it is, because that's the most they could do.
I'm always impressed whenever, like, stuff like that is possible. Like, people cramming Doom onto everything is endlessly
The
amusing to me.
pregnancy test. Doom on a
Yeah.
pregnancy test.
I think that's the magnum opus of Doom ports right now.
Technically speaking, wasn't that not actually running on it? Wasn't it just using it as a display?
Don't remember the fine details if I'm being honest. All I know is that I saw video of man playing Doom on a pregnancy test, and that's all I needed to see.
I think my favorite will be Doom on the oscilloscope.
What about Doom on the piano?
The piano is a pretty good one. Yeah.
I'm trying to navigate around a abandoned mineshaft with only 2 torches to my name.
Risky game you're playing.
So, this is kind of old news by now, but I haven't talked to you guys in a very long time.
It's only
Been what, like 3 weeks? Well,
So
it's been 3
E3,
weeks
right?
since
What was the question?
E3
E3,
is
right?
dead.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
It might
Breakfast.
actually be properly dead.
No, it is actually properly dead. They have
No, it's-
full out canceled it.
Yeah, it's properly dead for this year, but like considering like everything, it's actually kind of in danger of like not
No.
happening.
No,
Again.
it actually is. ReedPop only signed a contract for this year, and they were going to see how it performed to see if they could continue it further.
So it's actually just dead.
that nobody's doing E3 ever again. It's officially gone.
Jeez. I mean, I enjoyed E3, but I also got more out of just, you know, watching game trailers.
It was the experience.
Yeah.
It was the game trailers, but presented in a fun way, instead of just going onto YouTube and watching a trailer. There was
And then
something
you've got
exciting about.
and then you've got like Nintendo who do their Nintendo Directs every once in a while. Very what's the word? Erratically. They are
Speaking of
never consistent.
speaking of Nintendo Directs, I'm super excited.
For
So Miyamoto did an interview with Variety. And the interviewer just outright asked him, "So when's the new Mario game coming out?" And he chuckled and he's just all like, "Just pay close attention to upcoming directs." I'm all like, "Oh, it's happening."
mm.
Finally.
Now the real question is, do you think that it'll be Odyssey 2 or do you think that it will be something else?
I want it to be my dream, my wish is for it to the most likely of the two options is just another 2D Mario game. But what would be really cool is if we got a Mario and Luigi game.
Mm. You know, knowing Nintendo, they're gonna be like, here, you know, have Mario Maker 3.
I would be mad. I
Because I
would be
mean,
very
they haven't
mad.
actually put out their own first party Mario, like fully made, not make it yourself game Mario game since the Wii U era.
Wait, one Mario Odyssey for like made for the Switch?
Yeah, but that's not a 2D game.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking 2D.
Okay, sorry. I'm just saying, flipping every other single flipping,
Hey Nasu, how are you doing?
I almost said Minecraft franchise. Every other Nintendo franchise has gotten either a second or even a third game on the Switch, and Mario's just being sidelined.
I mean, technically speaking, Mario has like 4, but
I'm saying new for the Switch.
new for the Switch, I think it's only got
Mario has one.
2.
No, it's one.
Mario Maker.
Rabbids.
I don't count Mario Maker, and I don't count Bowser's Fury.
What about
Jimbles, I've found
Rabbids?
you.
Yeah. Go,
Wait,
go,
what about
go.
what, Jimbles?
Slept like 12
Rabbids.
hours to make up for the 2 days of 2 or less hours of sleep. Hmm. Yeah, there's the Mario and Rabbids games, Spoods.
Okay, that's a spin-off that's not official. It's an Ubisoft game.
It's basically
I'm
Mario
saying
Rabbit
XCOM.
make funny rabbit noise.
I'm saying a Mario game that we all know is a Mario game, whether in the vein of 2D Mario or 3D Mario.
All right, Spoods, but would you say no to another Luigi's Mansion instead of Mario?
Yes.
Oh, dang.
Ubisoft games aren't games.
Look, Luigi's Mansion is cool, and I have a soft spot for the little green boy. But I
But
want
only if he has striped socks.
I want a new Mario game so badly.
Okay, what if it's a Mario game, but it's literally just Luigi's Mansion, but they changed Luigi to Mario?
Spoods,
I
what
would
if it's
just
what if it's a remaster of an old Mario game?
I would hate Nintendo for doing that kind of Luigi's Mansion game for the sole purpose of disrespecting our Green Man.
Well, I believe I have grabbed enough iron. I have 3 stacks of iron.
And no, Maddie, flipping a remaster of one of their old games also doesn't count because that's not a new Mario game.
What if it's finally adding Mario Galaxy 2 to Switch?
It's it's still not a new Mario game.
Alright, Spoots. What about Mario Galaxy 3?
That'd be
I
cool
would
as hell.
Continuing the franchise.
I would accept that. That's a new Mario game.
Okay, but what about Mario
Unironically.
Galaxy 2, but this time you can play as Wario?
Did you mean Super Mario 64 DS?
Yes, but this time in space.
And controlling much, much worse. Spoons, we're just
Saddle
giving you
goes in the
shit.
Saddle chest. It's all we're good for anymore.
The big thing is I want you, whether or not it's 2D or 3D, I just want a new Mario game that has a timer. I want you to be challenged.
Have you played Odyssey, Spoons?
No.
Do you have any desire to play it?
Yes.
Would
Oh,
you
okay.
like to borrow it?
No.
Is the animal you're thinking of green?
With overalls. What was I gonna say? Oh, I guess there was technically they're spin-offs still, but there's 2 Mario Party games on Switch.
Okay, I get that. The thing that I'm saying is just new games and whatnot. They did the Legend of Zelda remasters or spin-offs or whatever they are. What is it?
One of them was a ground up
Remasters?
remake and one of them was just basically a port. Granted, it was a 60 FPS port with better controls,
got-
but honestly, Metroid fans are eating pretty good this console generation.
Yeah, see, you
We got Prime remastered and potentially Prime 2 or 2 and 3 remastered in the pipeline, which would be hype as all hell.
No, they 100% are and whatnot.
Like, my big thing is that I don't like to speculate on stuff like that because I don't want to get my hopes up.
No, I get you. It's those
But-
things that still counts as rumor and to be taken with a grain of salt, but they're 100% doing 2 and 3.
Then there's Prime 4 that's been in development since the Switch presentation back in 2017. Well, technically speaking, it's been in development twice since then, but because they had to restart halfway through.
Devlog. My coworker ate my sandwich today. I think I'm gonna quit developing this game and give it to someone else.
Leaked message history between Retro Studio, or not Retro Studios. Who was the Bandai Namco Singapore? I think was who they had developing Prime 4 before Retro.
Outsourced to Bandai Namco Singapore.
I might be wrong about that, but I seem to remember hearing about it somewhere.
The fact that they didn't go to Bandai Namco and instead went to one of their offshoots that's only a support team.
I don't
No, I
know. That
didn't want the
information is
scaffolding
probably
there.
wrong.
That information is probably sandwich.
I like how rather than going up to the surface and cutting down trees, I'm literally just cutting down the pillars holding up the mine shaft.
It's not a
Okay,
load
so
bearing
it was-
structure.
It was main Bandai Namco Studios and Bandai Namco Singapore.
So I was partially right.
Yeah, that makes more sense. So they were still a support studio.
But it's since been canceled and have the and have had the reins handed back over to Retro.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
Well, the thing you have to remember, though, is that a majority of the Prime Trilogy staff don't work at Retro anymore. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that they'll use Prime 1 and 2 for inspiration more than 3, but...
What if they use hunters as inspiration?
If it was for the multiplayer, hell yes. But, for the main story, nah. Spoods, the thing you have to remember is that this game, with 9 boss fights, has 3 bosses.
Okay.
That's not a joke. Like, they were like, yes, you know, this giant eyeball boss, this'll work 4 times.
Oh, it's not even distribution? Well, that was a bad time for a yawn.
It's 4 of the eyeball boss, 4 of the pillar boss, 1 of the final boss.
I wish my body would quit telling me that organs are failing. Shut up. Just make them work.
Jimble's just made a sound very similar to an Enderman.
Did you guys hear about the Nintendo Systems announcement?
No. What is this?
Apparently, we weren't supposed to know. Nintendo just killed Spoots.
So I had to pull up a thing. So Nintendo and Dina started a new partnership. And they're calling it Nintendo Systems.
Hmm.
Where's the thing?
Jimbles, or Spoods. We require you to sleep.
Oh, sorry. Here it is. They're probably not the greatest news for a lot of people and whatnot, but it looks like that they're trying to bolster their mobile output.
Oh.
I mean,
I was gonna ask you guys what you thought of that. What your thoughts were.
here's the thing. Everyone loves shitting on the Nintendo mobile games. And while not a lot of them are great, some of them are fun in short bursts. Part of the issue is that Nintendo seems to think that mobile games are a replacement for console games sometimes.
They're the future. In the future, everyone will have a phone in their pocket and they'll play our mobile games.
I mean, that's
Did you
the big
mean
thing. Is
Diablo Immortal?
Yeah.
that is the eventuality and whatnot. If you really look at it and whatnot.
Yeah, but the
At
issue is
some
that
point
it's
in the future, it is just going to be smartphones. Oh, sorry.
the issue that you run into with that line of thinking is that, you know, you don't have nearly enough power in a phone currently.
No, that's what I said. In eventuality in the future, it's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah. As
But
much
we've
as
already made. Hmm?
some companies would like to have you believe that it's happening soon.
Yeah. Here's the
Samsung
big
looking at
thing.
you.
As much as lots of people don't want to admit it and whatnot, we're already making the transition. We have, I think, officially transitioned from home consoles to handhelds.
Hmm, that's arguable.
Okay, listen. I'm going to make the argument. home consoles have been a dying market from the beginning.
Hmm. Okay,
There's
support your
no doubt.
argument.
There's no doubt that they're popular, and there's no doubt that they're cool and whatnot. But humans in general are a very active culture, active population, active species, and whatnot. Uh, the idea of playing games on the go has always been a lot more favorable to more people than being tethered to a
Oh,
TV.
hey Spoods, I've got a question for you. Uh,
Are
opi-
are you
op-
smarter than 5 gay rats?
opinions on the I know that I said that I don't get too involved in rumors, but opinions on the rumor of with Sony's new patent for a handheld console.
If they do that, they fail.
Why?
Because why would you make something that's most likely going to cost more than $200 that your phone can already do exactly the same?
Clout.
So you don't want a PS Vita 2, Spoods?
Oh, did you not hear the full rumor?
No.
It's a dedicated remote play console. It's not a PS Vita 2.
Oh, if it's a dedicated remote play console, then hell no. That thing's a piece of trash at that point.
Sorry, I thought you heard the whole thing. You were talking about the rumor. If it's an actual Vita 2, I'm all there. I will literally day one purchase it.
Honestly, like, I think the biggest issue with the Vita, like as a console, is that like one, it really didn't have a whole lot of support.
That's the thing that killed it. The biggest thing that killed it. The second biggest thing that killed it was the expensive memory
I was about
cards.
to say the proprietary memory cards.
A lot of people would have looked past the expensive memory cards though if it was actually supported. If they gave their like proper support to it like they did with the PSP.
I think possibly a controversial opinion. I'm not entirely sure. Uh, I think that one of the big nails in the Vita's coffin was the fact that the that Capcom didn't put Monster Hunter on it.
Yeah, Sony kind of screwed that one up. I can't remember exactly what it was that happened, but some falling out between Capcom and Sony. That Capcom was all like, "Screw it, we're partnering with Nintendo. Piss off."
I mean, they did eventually, put Monster Hunter World on PS4, but
Yeah, but it took until the flippin' PS4. The Vita came out in 2012.
alongside the 3DS.
Yeah. And this was coming out of the PSP, which had 3 flippin' Monster Hunter games on it.
Monster Hunter was definitely one of those big, like, sells consoles series.
It still kind of is.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
not
take a
really
look at
sells consoles, but moves copies.
yeah. Spoods, have you ever played a Monster Hunter game?
No.
Boots, I have
Hmm.
excellent news for you. I have replenished the iron stock.
Oh. Oh ho ho ho.
Spoods, what if I told you that I'm making a load of charcoal currently?
Pretty neat.
We are up to 46 blocks of iron again.
Replenished.
Anyways,
Humanity restored.
going back to my previous argument, the finishing point and whatnot, and a lot of people don't want to admit this. It's a band-aid that needs to be ripped off. the majority of people that play video games are not hardcore gamers.
I mean,
I'm sorry. It has to be said and it has to be acknowledged.
I will say, as long as you are only taking into account post early 2000s, then yes, I would agree with that.
No, even today, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, post early 2000s, not pre early
Oh,
2000s.
post early 2000. Okay. I thought you. I got confused there. I hate those prefixes.
No, no,
They
no.
confuse me.
Today, you would never see a picture of a guy duct taped to a ceiling to play CS:GO with his buddies in a LAN party.
Unless it was
Pre
us.
like 2005, yeah, you'd definitely see it.
Okay, here's the big thing too, and whatnot. That video games at that time, the early '90s and late '90s even, video games were a toy.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're a coping mechanism.
There were multiple parents and people that would not buy the Super Nintendo because the NES wasn't broken. There was no concept that the Super Nintendo was better. To parents, it was the same thing.
I mean, to be fair, with some parents, that's still the case.
I know, but that's the thing. Video games were a toy until very recently.
Well, the big thing that like absolutely stomped the scale in towards like more casual gaming was the Wii. Hands down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, I need to say.
But you're forgetting the thing that surpassed the Wii.
Hmm.
The Wii U.
The DS.
Did the DS sell
The
better than the
literal-
Wii?
The DS is the second highest selling console of all time.
I thought that was the Wii.
No, the Wii is the fifth highest selling console of all time.
Actually, now that I think about it, isn't the Switch beating the Wii now?
The Switch is the third best selling console of all time.
The first is the PS2, though.
The first is the PS2, and not because it was a video games console.
It's because it was the
Look at the
DVD
lore.
player.
Because it was a cheap DVD player at a time when people wanted a DVD player.
It just so happens to be able to work video games.
That was Sony's extreme strategy that worked to get people to buy the PS2 was they were transitioning from VHS to DVD. People wanted to get into DVD. DVD players were $1,000. So here's one for $350.
And then they tried it again with the PS3 and kind of failed with it.
That was a different reason entirely and whatnot, but
Rest in peace, Laserdisc. You will be missed.
the
Well, that was
PS3 was still the cheapest Blu-ray player on the market and whatnot, but the PS3 failed because of its high cost.
Because of A, its high cost, B, its lackluster library.
Do you want to know why it had a lackluster library?
Because it was impossible to develop for, which was C.
Its collaboration with Toshiba developing the cell processor, which Toshiba made their intentions clear was for medical purposes.
So you're telling me I could go get a government discount on my taxes for buying out a bunch of PS3s because they're medical devices?
So the cell processor was being developed by Toshiba for medical equipment. Sony decided that that was a good idea and decided to invest into its development and even gave some extra bits and pieces.
And then they tried to pull a Doom
make it out and
community
go
and run
faster.
games on it.
Sony wanted to be able to make a return on their investment that was quicker than waiting for the medical community to adopt the cell processor, so they said we could turn this into a games console.
They're just like, people are inventive. Have you seen what they do with Doom nowadays?
The only reason why the PS3 outsold the Xbox 360 was because at the end of it all, they brought the cost under the Xbox 360. Ask literally most people, it was not because the PS3 was better, it was
Oh.
because it was cheaper.
Stream dying on your end? Do either of you have this open?
Yeah, stream just paused on my end.
It still looks like it's live for me.
My bitrate is very, very low for some reason.
Oh, stream's going now. Just needed to think for a bit. Just having a moment.
Is it choppy?
No, it's pretty smooth.
Hmm.
Nope, never mind. It decided to take a moment again.
Oh.
Hmm?
I was wrong. The Wii is the 6th highest selling console of all time.
Really?
Yeah. The 5th highest selling is the original PlayStation.
Hmm. Meanwhile, why
No.
is it that Sony markets their consoles by being like, hey, not only is it a game console, but it's also... I'm gonna die to an Enderman.
It's excellent marketing.
Would you buy that game console?
If I know I'm going to get killed by an Enderman if I don't? Yeah, probably not.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, to be fair, I did actually finish my statement. Is like, not only is this a game console, but it's also, and then insert piece of technology here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because that's the different industries that Sony is a part of.
All of them.
Sony is one of the original developers of Blu-ray, so the more Blu-rays that get sold, the more money Sony makes. So they market it as a Blu-ray player for movies. Sony is also a content creator of movies, so they market it as something that can watch movies and download movies.
But yeah, like, I just find it funny that, you know, you've got the PlayStation 1 that was marketed as a CD player.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the
Sony's also a
PlayStation...
music company.
Yeah, you've got the PlayStation 2 that was marketed as a DVD player. Then you have...
DVDs were developed between Sony and Philips.
Then you have the PS3 that was marketed as a Blu-ray player.
Sony, Philips, and Panasonic.
Then you've got the PS4 Pro, which was marketed as a cheap 4K Blu-ray player.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the PS5 that's marketed as an 8K Blu-ray player.
No.
Yeah?
There
Got
is
it right
no
there on the
such
box.
thing as an 8K Blu-ray.
Why does it say
8K
it can
resolution.
display an 8K
It's an
then?
8K resolution, not 8K Blu-ray. Your 4K Blu-rays are
What?
still going to be 4K stretched to 8K. It's just display resolution. That's all the 8K is for.
Hmm.
The PS5 is just a 4K Blu-ray player, Ultra HD Blu-ray.
Hmm.
But again, same reason as above.
Same reason as the PS4 Pro.
And literally all of it is still the same reason from the original PlayStation and whatnot. Sony is a music company, a movie company, the developer of DVD and Blu-ray.
They got their thumb in a lot of pies.
In fact, here's the fun part. The original launch model of the PlayStation was the preferred CD player of choice because it used one of Sony's premium audio processors.
Hmm.
There's a little asterisk in there of preferred CD player in Japan because that's the only market it was available in. In order to make it cheaper for launch worldwide, they stripped it out.
Meanwhile, you've also got. I love really bizarre consoles. That GameCube that's
Google
also the
Ouya.
CD player.
Why else would it have a handle on it?
The
You know,
Panasonic Q.
yeah.
I know the one you're talking about, yeah.
I'll have to throw a picture of it in the Discord.
The Panasonic Q is 100% the early 90s or late 90s idea of what the future looks like. Even though
Okay.
thinking about it, the Panasonic Q came out in the early 2000s.
The future was then.
Come on. Why is my bitrate absolutely tanking for no reason?
Fun fact. Speaking of weird consoles, did you know that PSX is not PlayStation 1?
Yeah, the PSX is technically like it came between the PS1 and the PS2, right?
The PSX is a PlayStation 2 that's also a TV DVR.
Hmm.
Where's my PS5 that can read VHS?
Whoa, what the hell? Why is my bitrate so awful currently? Stream bitrate is like being like, hey, you want to hang out at around 3,000 kilobytes per second?
The stream looks fine on my end. Doesn't look too choppy or blocky. Consider we're playing block game.
But anyway, yeah, that's my argument. For handhelds are the new generation of gaming.
I mean,
There's just a geode right here.
oh, I think I know where you're at, actually. Is it the one that's just, like, in the wall, past the turn in the, cave? That's, like,
If
at
you
the
think
very...
I was paying attention, you have a lot more faith than I have in me.
But, I mean, yeah. I can see where you're coming from, Spoods. But, there's one, big asterisk that has to go next to that.
Is it?
Gaming PCs.
The superior console.
Which Valve is proving can also be a handheld.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it... As much as I love my
Yes,
Steam Deck,
Steam Deck-
it's...
Steam Deck cannot be the dedicated gaming PC. I understand that.
And it is also the price of some low-end ones that you can get.
However, there is no denying again that if even the PC gaming company is getting into handhelds, the argument can be made that handhelds are the future of gaming right now.
Yeah. I wish that there
People
was a
like
better
being able
way.
to play wherever they are.
I wish that there was a better way for them to, like, pack it all in. Like, I know that it's
Look,
just a
it's just-
situation of, like, you know, new technology needing time.
Yeah, we're in the early stages. The more people do it, the more development goes into it. Cheaper costs, better hardware. It will play out the same way it always has.
Yeah.
Right now, we're more or less building off of cell phone tech to try to make a PC gaming.
We
Oh,
are we
not
are
just
in the
PC, mobile gaming.
we
We
are
gotta
in
give
the
it a little
early
bit.
stages of this.
Unironically though,
All
the Steam Deck like is very much like it's very cool and I very much like it. It takes forever to boot games. Granted,
yeah, if you're booting them off of an SD card, for sure.
yeah, I think that's it. It's just that I don't have it on my SSD. And maybe it's also because I'm used to booting games off of my SSD on my desktop, but
The best micro SD card that you can buy only has a 300 megabyte per second transfer rate maximum, and it doesn't even hit that 50% of the time, or not even 50, like 70 to 80% of the time.
the other thing is that even if you get one of the what are they called? The XC LAN or line of SanDisk. Not wait, is it SanDisk?
It's any XC is just a standard of micro SD card.
Yeah, but like, who is it that does the like really high quality ones? Is it SanDisk?
SanDisk, Sony, PNY.
I think it's SanDisk that I'm thinking of. The
Okay.
even if you get the really really high end ones, the Steam Deck doesn't actually support their maximum file transfer speed.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's the asterisk between by the by saying up to 300 megabytes per second because it's based off of what hardware is actually reading and writing to the card.
Yeah.
Take, for example, a Raspberry Pi. Its micro SD card slot has a maximum of 60 megabytes per second.
And I mean, in a lot of situations, 60 megabytes per second can get you very far.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, when you're trying to load a ton of stuff, like with a game, it doesn't get you very far very fast.
That's why Raspberry Pis are still mostly being used for retro emulation boxes.
And to unbrick your Wii U.
Particularly, that's still funny to me.
You heard about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Unironically, I'm actually kind of scared to boot up my Wii U. Like, to be fair, I have used it more recently than 90% of people. Because I played through Xenoblade X before 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still been a hot minute since I booted it. Which makes me scared. Though, I don't even think that the boot time of it actually mattered in the end. I think that was just a rumor.
Anyway, here's fun little food for thought. AMD is currently in the process of developing graphics cards for phones.
Whack. Phones don't got nearly enough battery power for that to work.
I mean, if you could get the power optimization good enough.
Do you know what the biggest failure in phone technology in the last decade has been?
Power optimization.
We haven't changed how phone batteries worked in over a decade. All we've done is made all the other parts smaller so that we can fit more battery in the phone.
I mean, to be fair, that stays universal just about wherever you point it to. As in, like, you know, batteries as a whole haven't changed a whole lot.
Because we developed this magic technology called spicy pillows that if you don't touch them just bad enough, they work really well. Until we decided, nah, we can make tech that can power these.
The Galaxy S7 is half living proof of that.
Wait, which one was the S7? Was that the one that was on the no-fly list?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you'd think that Samsung would be the one to, you know, revolutionize battery power in their phones.
Because we're
Except
stuck in our
Samsung
ways.
decided. Hmm?
They haven't, because we're still stuck in our ways using lithium.
Yeah. The biggest problem is that Samsung, in their infinite wisdom, decided to use the previous phone's generation of battery without voltage regulating it for the new device.
Hmm.
Brilliance at
I'm
its
just
finest.
I'm just talking like in general, like you'd think that they would put more stock into making a better battery, but
I was trying to make the point that a company that didn't bother voltage regulating a battery has no place in optimizing the battery industry.
yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's Samsung. Like
Yeah.
they're the weird experimental tech company.
One of the things going on right now, I don't know if it's gotten anywhere recently, but one of the interesting ones that I heard of and whatnot is that they're trying to get slow discharge capacitors.
They're trying to hybridize capacitors and batteries again.
Yeah, so the idea is that they want to take advantage of a capacitor's like instantaneous charge time,
Yeah.
but they want to find a way to make it discharge slowly. I have no idea how they're doing it. That's just the way that I've heard it described.
I don't like thinking about that one. Electronics already hurt my head enough.
Because it's that whole thing of how capacitors are quick to charge and then quick to
Quick to
discharge.
discharge.
They want the quick to charge, slow to discharge.
Humans wanting the best of all worlds. Back at it again.
You say that like it hasn't come out with interesting things in the past.
Oh, it absolutely has. Just saying, we fall back in our patterns so often.
They're also trying to do solid state batteries, which are pretty cool.
Yeah, those are neat. That's
The
probably our
problem-
next best battery tech.
The problem with solid state batteries right now is how expensive they are to make.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
they're
the
made
only way to get that
they're made out of, you know, same materials as an SSD, aren't they? Or am I
different kind of solid state.
Mhm.
okay?
It's confusing. Don't worry. No one will blame you for that.
Yep. Don't think about it too hard.
But
The brain gremlins get you if you think about it too hard.
The mind
problem
goblin?
that they've run into
Yeah.
the problem that they've run into is that the only way to make solid state batteries cheaper is to just keep developing them to find ways to make them cheaper, but they have to spend the big amounts of money to find those cheaper options.
And
I
not
mean-
many people are willing to invest those big amount of money on experimental tech.
MIT did it, but MIT only did it on a government grant.
Honestly, though, like, there's some real like, again, Samsung, like, their tech is very odd because a lot of it just seems to be like, hey, look, we slapped 3 monitors together lengthwise because we felt like it. Check this shit. That'll be like $20,000, please.
That's Samsung's strong suit right now is displays. Samsung Display is like the foremost, I guess, pioneer in display technology. Foremost authority, that's what I was looking for.
Unironically, I kind of would like one of the ones that are like the double wide ones.
Mhm.
But they don't make them flat.
You know,
And
the
that's
only way
my,
that they make sense is if they're curved.
like, I hate shopping for monitors because everyone is always like, oh, get curved gaming monitors and whatever. And it's just like, no, I want flat monitors, please.
Samsung makes flat monitors.
Yeah, but
But
not
not double wides.
not double wides and not
You won't.
above
Maddie
60
is in a
hertz.
very specific niche part of the market where she wants the display resolution of a double wide, but she doesn't want all of it to be right in the center of her vision.
Okay. So, I actually, believe it or not, have an option for you.
Is it
The
gonna
fun
cost me
part is
like
that we're
$2,000?
no. The fun part is that we're not even leaving South Korea for it.
Hmm.
It's LG.
Really?
LG makes a double wide flat panel monitor.
Hmm.
Let me pull it up.
Like I don't know. I do want better monitors at some point because these monitors aren't great. But
Mhm.
like, I want to get a monitor that has, a above 60 hertz refresh rate. And yes, I know that it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but my current monitors are 75 hertz refresh rate monitors. Forgot about the blood soup on the floor.
Here's an easy way. Do you want to know how you can tell if a monitor is 60 hertz?
Ow.
It's when they don't boast about the monitor's refresh rate.
Sounds about right.
It's almost always a guarantee that it's a 60 hertz monitor.
I mean, 60 hertz is like the standard currently, isn't it?
Yeah. You'd be hard pressed to find anything under 60.
I think I can manually set my drawing tablet to 50. I might actually be thinking of my old drawing tablet, but
I mean, that's kind of the only place that you could find 50 hertz things, though, is England. The UK in general.
Good old 50 hertz electrical system over there.
I want that. But outside that, most things have been 60 for like the last, I want to say, like 30 years.
Hey, oh wait. I guess it's almost 4, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting pretty close.
I was gonna say, do you two want to help me get out to the Nether Fortress so we can farm some blaze rods? Real quick, but
Might
it's
have
a
to leave it as a note for next time.
you guys boots?
Okay, so turns out that the only flat panel ultra wide LG makes is a display and a half, not a double wide.
Why would you make a display and a half wide?
21 by 9.
Yeah, but why?
Huh? Because it's a comfort thing.
Hmm.
They argue it has something to do with the neck, you know. Don't
Hmm.
ask me all the science behind it. It's just what they claim.
I forget. Is it Samsung that makes the double tall monitor?
Yeah.
Those ones are cool.
And they don't even call it a monitor.
Is it labeled as like a TV or something?
No, it's just called a display.
Hmm.
They call it a gaming display. If you want a TV or whatnot, there's Gigabyte.
I mean, I've already got a TV.
Gigabyte makes a 49-inch, 165 hertz gaming TV that they also advertise as well as being a gaming monitor.
Yes, my 49-inch gaming monitor.
Gosh, that's like twice the size of my PC monitors.
So do you want a double wide just so that you can have the double screen without the gap in between them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you considered modding your current setup by taking a buzzsaw to the edges of your screen?
uh,
Yeah, it looks like every double wide that you look for is going to be curved.
I just like I don't like curved monitors.
I get you. I am going to say I personally don't like ultra wide to begin with, but I see the appeal to it.
The main thing with the ultra wide is just like it's it doesn't have the seam, and you don't have to worry about like, you know, bumping a monitor and having it being out of position.
Hmm.
Because I don't know if I told you about this, but I during one of the Kingdom Hearts streams, I like slammed my fist on the desk because I was getting actually heated, and I shook my monitors enough that they like kind of one of them kind of twisted out of position.
I have brought more iron back from the caves and another 20 diamonds.